Good morning. You guys are all very chatty this morning. I didn't even hear the bells. But I saw Wally turning them on and off, so. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Greendale Community Church, United Church of Christ. We are proud to be a part of a denomination which boldly proclaims that no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, that you are welcome here, and I hope that you feel welcome here today. Pastor Dave is on vacation. He will return to the office on Tuesday morning. A couple of things for everyone. Hanging of the greens and preparing the sanctuary and the church for Christmas season will take place next Sunday, the 24th, following the service of worship. We invite you to stay after and help in this project, remembering that many hands make light work. We always have plenty of people, but the more the merrier. On the back of your bulletin, the last sheet is the poinsettia order form that can be found, like I said, on the back of the bulletin. And next Sunday is the last Sunday to order those poinsettias, which will adorn the sanctuary on Christmas Eve. Some additional announcements that I have this morning from Nancy. Coming up in this week on Monday is Tai Chi. For those continuing class who have been there before, 9 a.m., and for the beginners who are just joining and starting out, 10 a.m. On Tuesday, Energy of Wellness is at 1 p.m. Thursday is Men's Club meeting at Noche at 8 a.m. and yoga here at the church at 9:15 a.m. And then book study Thursday afternoon at 1 p.m. And then a reminder from Nancy to bring your bag of food items for the Greendale Food Pantry by Sunday, November 24th. This morning, we would like to welcome the following people to our worship service. They will be formally introduced a little later in the service by Pat Gilbert. Jim Hahn from Kids Matter, Christine Krogan from Next Door Foundation, Debbie Buchanan for the Milwaukee Homeless Veterans Initiative, Ava Welsh and Shelley Saracen for Street Angels. So with that, we are going to begin our service with our prelude. Carol.
There is no problem too big, he cannot solve it. There is no mountain too tall, he cannot move it. There is no storm too dark, God cannot calm it. There is no sorrow too deep, he cannot soothe it. If he carried the weight of the world upon his shoulders, I know, my brother, that he will carry you.
That was lovely, ladies. Thank you. And drummer and guitarist. Thank you. All who are able, please rise and join with me as we responsively say the call to worship. Come, let us give thanks to God. We gather together to praise the one who strengthens the weak and hears the prayers of the forgotten. Come, let us give thanks to Christ. We gather together to sing of the one who calls us to serve those who are hungry and alone at this time of year. Come, let us give thanks to the Spirit. We gather together to exalt the one who provokes us to love not only our family and friends, but the guests among us. Our opening hymn this morning is There Are Some Things I May Not Know. You can find it as number 405 in the hymnal. Thank you. Please join with me in our prayer of invocation. Holy One, you raise up the poor to give them the best rooms in the house. You pull the broken from the dust of the world and clothe them with joy. You exalt those who have pushed aside and let them say grace at the feast of heaven. When we are tempted to wander off, you guard our feet so we can walk as faithful people. When we think we need to pay attention to all the nonsense around us, you give us good news to take away our fears. When we become frustrated because no one else will listen to us, you can pour out our soul to you. When it feels like we have become invisible and no one notices us, you see us and fill us with joy. When everyone else has forgotten who we are, you remember us and call us by name. God in community, holy in one, into our heart. Amen. Please be seated.
God delivered Moses from King Pharaoh? And didn't he cool the fiery furnace for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? When I think of what my God can do, he delivered Daniel, I know he will deliver you.
Trust and never doubt, Jesus will surely bring you out. He never failed me yet. I will sing of God's mercy. Every day, every hour, he gives me power. I will sing thanks to him for all the things his words and says that he has brought me out. He is my God, and I serve him. No matter what the test, trust and never doubt, Jesus will surely bring you out. He never failed me yet. He never failed me. He never failed me yet. He never failed me. He never failed me yet. He never failed me. He never failed me yet. He never failed me. He never failed me yet. Trust and never doubt, Jesus will surely bring you out. He never failed me yet.
It was very uplifting and so much fun. Thank you so much. The reading of Scripture this morning is from Paul's second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 8, verses 1 through 7. We want you to know, brothers and sisters, about the grace that God has been granted to the churches of Macedonia. For during a severe ordeal of affliction, their abundant joy and their extreme poverty have overflowed in the wealth of generosity on their part. For, as I can testify, they have voluntarily given according to their means, and even beyond their means, begging us earnestly for the privilege of sharing in this ministry to the saints. And this, not merely as we expected, they gave themselves first to the Lord, and by the grace of God, to us, so that we might urge Titus that as he had already made a beginning, so he should also complete this generous undertaking among us. Now, as you excel in everything, faith, in speech, in knowledge, in utmost eagerness, and in our love for you, so we may want you to excel also in this generous undertaking. These are the words of the gospel for the day.
Thank you, Pat. At this time, I invite Pat Gilbert to come forward to introduce our speakers for this morning from the various organizations that will be supporting these holidays.
Good morning, everyone. So it's hard to believe that in just a few days, Thanksgiving's going to be here, and that in 2 weeks, the season of Advent will begin. Advent is a time when we wait for the birth of Jesus, and it's also a time when we look for ways to bring hope, peace, joy, and love. One way that we do that here at Greendale Community Church is through our giving tree. I'm sure that as many of you walked in today and you walked through the narthex, you saw our tree, and it's absolutely covered with ornaments. I would like to take a few minutes just to review how the giving tree works. The mission board and our committee, we selected 3 organizations this year. They are Kids Matter, the Next Door Foundation, and Milwaukee Homeless Vets Initiatives. This year, all of the gifts will actually be for infants, toddlers, children, and teens. Our ornaments on the tree are color-coded. So Kids Matter are green ornaments, Next Door Foundation is yellow, and the Milwaukee Homeless Vets Initiative is in gray. So we would like you to pick an ornament or two off the trees, and then purchase that item, bring it back to church, and have the ornament attached to the gift, but we do not want you to wrap the gift. We also are going to be doing something for street angels, and we are doing stockings of love again. So we would like you to take a stocking or more than a stocking, and then fill it with items, again, for young children. And it would be helpful if you also marked it with like what age group and if it's for a boy or a girl. And then you can also bring them filled back to church, and we will get them to street angels so they can be delivered to shelters. If you don't like to shop, then you can donate money. So you can, if you write a check, please make it payable to Greendale Community Church. And on the memo, you can put down if you would like the money to go to one organization or if you'd like it to go to all of them. You can also place gift cards in the box, and this will be at a table in the back. So we are asking that all of the items be donated by December 15th so that we have time to get them delivered to all of the organizations. So if you have any questions, please see me or Joanne or Judy, Huck, or Amy. The other last thing is that if every time you bring back a gift or donate money, please pick one of the little ornaments they're actually in a sleigh, and put them on the tree. And we're hoping by December, when we are finished with our collections, that our tree will be covered with little ornaments. So at this time, I would like to introduce Christine Grogan, who is from the Next Door Foundation. Yay.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. As she mentioned, I am from the Next Door Foundation, and we do early childhood education in Milwaukee. And when I talk about Next Door Foundation, I really like to talk more about, start at the end rather than the beginning. So the end is that, when children have had high-quality early childhood education, they are ready for success in school. They've really developed their literacy skills, they've developed their social emotional skills, all to the level that they should be in that birth to 5 range. And when children are ready for success in school, they're going to be ready for success in their kindergarten classroom, their first grade classroom, et cetera. Classrooms are going to thrive. Schools are going to thrive. There'll be less need for special education. There'll be higher graduation rates, higher workforce development. There's such a ripple effect from early childhood education, and I'd like to just share that that's the reason why it is so important to have these services available for all children in our community. So I work for an organization, it's called, like I said, Next Door Foundation. We are a early Head Start program. We're also a part of a National Educare Learning Center, which is a national best practice for early childhood education. We have a charter school for 4K students. And overall, we start working with children and families at the age of 6 weeks all the way through 4K. So birth to 5 is our focus area. And the reason that's so important is that from birth to 5, that's when 85% of the brain is developed. How many of you knew that already? 85% of the brain is developed during those first 5 years. So it's incredibly important to have really positive experiences, positive life experiences, positive language experiences, and social emotional experiences. We have 2 center-based sites. They're located on 29th and around 29th and Center in Milwaukee, and then 53rd and Capitol Drive. And we serve around 800 students through those 2 sites. We also have a home-based program where parent educators meet with families once a week for about an hour and a half. They work on parenting skills, child development, things you can do at home with your children, access to resources. And we serve around 200 families through that program. We do that in 7 different languages. So when I hear you say all are welcome here, definitely that's an example of a program where all are welcome to be a part of that program. We have a lot of immigrant families that are here learning to navigate the system, and we want to make sure that they and their children are prepared, again, for success in school. And then we also have 9 partnership sites around the community. Our purpose there is to increase access to that high-quality early childhood education. So we work with other child care centers to increase the quality of what they can provide so that more children have access to that great programming. I kind of started at the end, but I want to go to the beginning for a moment because we were founded by a church. And so it's really great to see organizations that are, really reaching out to the community, doing things for the community. We were founded by Our Savior's Lutheran Church that was located on 31st in Wisconsin. It was an ELSCA church. And they started as a youth outreach program in the basement. And I always say, I'm also at an ELCA church, and I think of we don't do that much in our basement, in our fellowship hall. And this organization, did this incredible thing, and 50 years later now, Next Door Foundation is still thriving and serving more than 1,000 children and families every year. So just really amazing work that come from the people of the church, right? Because it wasn't the church that did it, it was the people that did it. So thank you all for, serving your community through your church. I think that's pretty amazing. So just a little bit about what we do and then how it's going to connect to the giving tree would be that I'm going to talk more about our center-based sites. We focus on literacy, and one of the things that is important to know about that is that, everyone learns through all of their senses. Everyone learns through all of their experiences. And so, every moment of the day that our children are with us, that's a learning experience for them in some way, shape, or form. So, for example, we've got nutrition services on site with us. That's a learning experience for them. They, sit down at the table. They do family style. It's very messy, but they do it, and it's a learning experience for them. Our nutrition team plans out meals 2 months in advance, and it's a process where maybe you're going to try this chicken taco bake and you don't like it the first time you have it, but you're going to have it again because it might take 7 times before you like it, but everything is a learning experience. And one of the things, of course, is the idea of language, talk, read, sing, constantly talk to children. They are listening, they are hearing, they're absorbing, they're trying to process what you're saying so that they can do the same thing. And so the books that are on the tree this year are a really great way to help talk, read, and sing, right? Because when children are that young, there are no rules about reading books. You can read them upside down, you can skip pages, you can dance them out, you can make up a story to the pictures, doesn't matter. And so books are really an amazing tool to be able to work with children. With our Books for Kids program, which was started about 35 years ago, we collect, process, and distribute over 70,000 books to children every single year throughout the community. And so a lot of those children are at Next Door. The children receive 3 books per month at Next Door, and this is a library where it's a take it home and build your home library. Don't bring them back. But we also do have a mobile library. We have a community library where anyone can come in, including teachers coming to get books for their classrooms, et cetera. So just really amazing ways to get this a great tool into hands of many, many children in our community. We also have, as a part of that, a Read With Me program. So if any of you are looking for volunteer opportunities for yourself or maybe your workplace or your church, on most Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, you can come in and volunteer from 9 to 11 a.m. in one of our libraries at our sites and read to children. And so they come, they cuddle up for about 15 minutes, you read to them, and then that's one of the opportunities when they get to pick out a book on their own, what they want to take, they give it a little hug, and then go back to their classroom. So it's a great, enjoyable reading experience. I should put the asterisk there and say you're not always reading Again, how I said, sometimes they're wiggling, sometimes they're switching books up and all kinds of things. So, so again, literacy, really, really important to develop those skills. And then the second set of skills that is really, really important are those social emotional skills. A child can learn to read really at any age. So if they started school and they didn't know how to read, they can probably pick it up pretty quickly because their brain is ready to do that. But social emotional development is incredibly important. That's also called executive function as well. And that is about decision-making, judgment, impulse control. It is sharing with other children. It is understanding, learning to listen to other people. It is about identifying your own emotions and being able to manage your own emotions in a scenario. It's about being able to figure out what is maybe, driving those emotions. So, I like to share that, imagine a child doesn't have a high-quality early childhood experience, and then they start school, and they don't have those literacy skills yet, but they also don't have the social-emotional skills. So say you're sitting at the table, and there's 3 other students, you're asked to write your name down, and you don't know how to write your name yet. Imagine the emotions that you would feel. Right? You're a 5-year-old child, everyone else around you is doing a thing, and you don't know how to do it. So you're going to feel embarrassed, maybe frustrated, humiliated, but when you're 5, you can't name all of those different emotions, right? So they come out through a primary emotion, and usually that's going to be anger, right? Maybe you're going to say, oh, this is stupid, or, rip up your paper, or mark up your paper, and then the teacher is looking and identifying, seeing that there's a behavior happening right there. And so now, at 5 years old, this child might be labeled as having a behavioral issue, and he does not have a behavioral issue. He just doesn't know how to write his name yet. And so these 2 things are paired together so closely, right? Because if he was able to say, I don't know how to write my name yet, right? You can work with that, right? So you have to learn both of those things. So that's something that we focus on in all of our programs across Nextdoor. And, our goal is just to make sure that when children are through 4K, they're ready to learn. They're ready to, share with others. They're ready to go to that next step and have success in kindergarten, in first grade, in school, and in life. So, thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce Debbie Buchanan, who is with the Milwaukee Homeless Vets Initiative. Yay!
Good morning. I just have to say, excuse me for just a moment, but the choir was phenomenal. I was trying not to get up and clap. So I'm going to say on behalf of the African American community, you are all invited to the family cookout. So again, I just want to talk a little bit about our organization. Thank you, Pat, for not only coming to spend some time with us, but your continued support and inviting us to come back again this year. So again, my name is Debbie Buchanan. I am also a veteran of the United States Army, so representing all of the women who served in the armed forces. I am here today to represent a nonprofit organization that's been in existence now for 16 years. The Milwaukee Homeless Veterans Initiative started in the heart of Milwaukee, but about 10 years ago, we moved over into the heart of West Dallas. We're really close to the VA hospital, and it just really works because the veterans and families, regardless of where they are, south side or north side, they can come meet us in the middle. A very grassroots organization that was started by veterans, actually Vietnam veterans, who realized that there was an increase of not only at-risk veterans, but homeless veterans in our surrounding communities. And so their goal was really to get those veterans connected to services, get them off of the street and get them into safe housing. We offer 6 core programs that we do that, including an emergency food pantry. and our Woven program, which is geared towards serving women veterans, just because our experiences are in many cases different from our male counterparts that we served with. We also have our Veterans Resource Post that is right on site. We set up a store-like environment in partnership with Kohl's. So any veteran can come in, the family can come in and shop for free, everything from coats, boots, clothing, personal hygiene items, and even pet food and supplies, because so many of our veterans have service companions. In addition to all of the programs that we offer on site, we host different outreach events throughout the year to make sure that we're also always connecting with those veterans and families. We have our back to school event that we host every August. We have a summer resource fair where we have about 20 of our community partners that are on site. And we're there to, again, serve the veteran and the family, make it easy for them to access services. Just to give you an example of how busy our very small organization is, and when I say small, our staff is comprised of only 9 individuals. And we are serving veterans not just in our local communities, but we're in Green Bay, we're in Madison, we're out in Rhinelander, Racine, Kenosha, wherever the veteran is, and where we can, whatever way we can get to them in the quickest amount of time. So I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of data, but I think it's important for you to know who's walking through our doors. Just between January and September, we serviced 123 women veterans who had never walked through our doors before. 881 men who served in the military, 161 spouses in the home, and 249 children. Many times we think of the veteran, but we forget that there's a family at home, and if the veteran is homeless and living in their car or living in a park, and they have a family, those children, those family members are with them as well. The success in that is that those families and some that we have supported in moving into an apartment, we were able to furnish 89 apartments throughout southeastern Wisconsin. And again, this is just between January and September. We provide bikes through our Bikes for Stripes program. Many of our veterans need access to free, reliable transportation. And many of them use our bikes to get to medical appointments. They're using them to get to work if they are working, and some just for leisure and exercise. So we've given 216 bikes away to veterans and their children this year. As regarding the amount of food that goes out of our doors, almost 86,000 pounds of food that go out of our door. And again, this is all emergency food, so either we have a family that's at our door asking for food, or we are out delivering that food to our disabled veterans, our senior veterans, and those who just cannot get out and get about to take care of themselves. I want to share quickly a quick success story with you, and then kind of letting you know how important this giving tree is to our organization. Stephen is a veteran, a single father of 3 young boys who came to Milwaukee Homeless Veterans Initiative needing assistance with utilities, emergency food, and school clothing. He recently experienced a reduction in work hours and was experiencing financial hardship and unable to meet his obligations. He accessed our Veterans Resource Post for clothing and personal hygiene items, boots, and clothing for himself and his children. We provided his children with 3 laptops so that they could stay connected to technology and be able to accomplish their schoolwork. We also utilized our crisis fund to assist with their utility shut-off, and we put them in a motel for a short stay while we collaborated with our partners to secure housing for them. We also provided the security deposit and the first month's rent. Through our Furnishings for Heroes program, we furnished the apartment, allowing the family to settle in just in time for the first day of school. Stephen said that he had nowhere else to turn when he had come to us, and he had been receiving a lot of no's, we cannot help you, when he attempted to get help at some of the other resources. He was not only appreciative of our organization, but relieved that we were able to step in and assist him at a moment's notice. Not all the veterans that we serve are young. Frank is a Vietnam veteran. His wife, Pam, had both experienced a house fire and lost everything. Frank is also a disabled veteran, wheelchair-bound. Even though one of our partners, the Salvation Army, was able to provide short-time shelter, this resource is only available for a certain amount of time. So they were unfortunately forced to live in their car temporarily. Frank learned about our organization from another veteran, and we were able to quickly step in and secure a motel so that they could keep their dog until we were able to secure an apartment for them. It is extremely important that people realize that we are completely funded by you, by our partners, foundations, churches, businesses, schools. We do not accept government contracts, government funding. If we accept government funding, the government dictates what that veteran looks like that walks through our door. It is not our job to determine what your worth is based on your length of service, your type of service, or your type of discharge. You made this decision to leave your family, your friends, your loved ones, and go and fight for our rights, and so that we can live and enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy every day. But when those veterans come back, I just want to use the language, they're a mess. Depression, PTSD, we have all of these things that are going on. They're trying to sustain themselves, reconnect with their family, sustain themselves into the communities that they live in. So we are 100% reliable on donations to keep the trucks running so that we can make donations, that we can purchase emergency food, that we can get them into a shelter when they need it, and most importantly, that we can take care of those little ones by buying car seats, strollers, infant food, diapers, whatever we need. And so Christmas is very important to us. The holidays are extremely important because those families are going to be depending on our organization and our partners to be able to get them through a very tough time of the year. Not only is it expensive, but in many cases it's a dark time of year. For families, and so when they come in and they can get those gifts and they can go home and wrap them and put them under the trees that we most likely provided to them, it just makes all the difference in the world. So if you have an opportunity to stop by our organization, we're right on 63rd and National. We got a lot of toys to sort through. We have a lot of Thanksgiving boxes to get together, and we always have items that are coming in that we need to sort through. And lastly, I just want to leave this with you. We have a lot of deliveries. We're setting up at least 2 apartments per week in southeastern Wisconsin. We can't do that without donations of kitchen tables and furniture and things like that. So it's not only the financial donations that keep us going, but all of those items that we take out to the veterans for them to make their homes a happy dwelling. We need those items donated. We can come and pick them up from you, and then we go and deliver them to the veteran. So please check out our website. I will also leave listings here of the items that we do collect, that we take out to the homes. So thank you so much for your time today. Please consider volunteering with us or just coming out and seeing what we do. It's really important. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Jim Hahn from Kids Matter. If some of you remember last year, he had a flat tire and he wasn't able to get here until after church, but he still did come and met with people in our community room. Anyways, today he had another flat tire. But he called an Uber to bring him.
Neither rain nor snow. Stay the Please, couriers. Greetings once again. So this is year 3 for us. So most of you know us. Thank you. Kids Matter, in a nutshell, is an organization that was established about 25 years ago now. Next year will be our 25th anniversary, by foster parents, people who were working within the system to take care of kids, and discovered that the system was way more complex than it needed to be. Our founder is a graduate of the Harvard Law School, graduated with Barack Obama, hello. And she's a Harvard-trained attorney, and she couldn't figure things out. It was very disconnected and very confusing for her and her husband when she sought to become foster parents. So she founded the organization, and today we serve over 2,000 kids every year who are being raised by somebody other than mom and dad. So remember that for every kid in foster care in Milwaukee County, there are 20 outside the system who are just taken in by family members to kind of navigate things while mom and dad get their lives together. In some cases, because there won't be a mom and dad anymore, Milwaukee is experiencing, as you all know, high rates of addiction, opioid deaths, and homicide. So sometimes those kiddos are going to live with grandma permanently. But grandma needs some help understanding what her rights are, what she has the authority to do or not do, and that's where Kids Matter comes in. We do a lot of different programs. I love what Debbie did in kind of bringing it home with a single example. So I'm going to walk you through with one of our kids named Trevor. So Trevor came into the system in 2019. He was taken into the system with a brother because he lost his second parent to opioids. They were sent way up north to a farm outside of Wausau, Wisconsin, because we have a dearth of placement options available in southeastern Wisconsin. And for whatever reason, the woman who took them in decided that she would keep his brother, so he was a pair of two, but send him away, send him back. So he came back to Milwaukee County, and because, again, lack of placements, he was placed in a group home setting for people with severe mental disabilities. He did not have severe mental disabilities, but he spent almost a year languishing in that setting before the judge said, you know what, I'm going to get Kids Matter to appoint a court-appointed special advocate and look into this and figure out what's going on here. This young man deserves better than what we're providing. So after a lot of time, he ended up being placed with his maternal grandparents that were located in a county just north of Milwaukee County. One of them is retired already and does not drive. The other one is getting close to retirement and drives, but has to go to work every day. So it presents a challenge in how do you get a kid to school? They met with the school district and he was placed with them late in the school year, so the busing situation had already been put in place. And so there was a miscommunication. The school said, they thought, you let us know when you think he's ready and we'll arrange the busing. It's required by law. They bus the kids in. And the grandparents thought that the school said, let's let him get settled into school and we'll let you know when we think he's ready for the bus. So in the meantime, Granddad was getting up extra early to get him to school so he could get to work. So our court-appointed special advocate got involved, and this was one of the first problems to solve, and it was just understanding the communication mishap that had occurred. And he was able to get on the bus. But this late in the school year, our advocate wasn't happy with the way this was going to go down, because if you know how school buses work, kids are very territorial. They've already scouted out. The older kids get the back seats, the little kids have to sit up front by the driver, and everybody has their established turf. And for a kid who's been subjected to a severe amount of trauma in his life, this could be a really harrowing experience to come onto a pre-existing enclosed environment and not know where you fit in. So our advocate encouraged the school counselor to identify someone who would already be on the bus before it got to his stop and assign them as his bus buddy. And they worked with the school and the counselor to make sure that when he did get on the bus that first day, the bus buddy, he'd already met them, had lunch with them at school in the week before. And so when he got on the bus, he knew exactly who to look for, and that person was saving him a seat. That's the kind of thing that a court advocate does that goes through our CASA training that isn't readily a part of the kinds of services that they get in the foster care system from their assigned case manager, what you might think of as a social worker. They'd been on a wait list. So this young man had been on a wait list for over 8 months to get therapy. And the court advocate said, I think we can do better. So they got on the phone and started calling therapists in the county where the grandparents live, identified a therapist, and got the necessary signatures on forms. You might not know this, but when a kid is in foster care, their official guardian is the state. And so the director of the Department of Milwaukee Children's, DMCPS, is their official parent that has to sign any parental permission slips. Even if they're placed in a foster home, the foster parents don't have those rights. So we got those forms signed so this young man could get into therapy. He was on 7 different medications. And the court advocate took the list of medications and the young boy and his age and went into a Walgreens and talked to the pharmacist behind the counter and said, if you just had a kid who was this age on these many medications, what would you think? Is there anything that would be alarming to you? And they said, well, yeah, that one should only be prescribed to an adult. Those 2 do the same thing. This one, they're having him take in the dosage in the morning, and it's causing him to fall asleep in class because it knocks you out. Yeah, I got questions. So the advocate then went to the therapist and demanded that the therapeutic facility provide a medication review. Today, he's only on 5 of those medications, some at a lower dose, and the one that puts you to sleep, he takes in the evening. As a result of some of these problems, that first year in school was a little rough. That was last year, and he had a couple of times where he kind of had outbursts at school. In this rural school district, they don't deal with kids who have been impacted by this level of trauma. And so their solution when a kid acts up like that, call the sheriff. So the sheriff shows up, puts him in the back seat of a car. Have any of you ever ridden in the back seat of a sheriff's car? It's a hard plastic seat. It's not cushioned. So they put him in the back of the sheriff's car and took him back to grandma's house and said, look, we got a place for kids like you. It's called juvenile hall. You do this again, you're going down, buddy. Being very sheriffy, not very therapeutic. So working with the sheriff's department and the school and the counselor to really bring them around to an understanding of what kind of trauma kids experience and what a better response is. He has an individualized and educational plan. It's called an IEP. We worked with them to fix the IEP for Trevor. The result of all that is he finished last year on the honor roll. That's pretty cool. Even better, he's going to be officially adopted. It's a thing called subsidized guardianship, but he's going to be officially adopted before the end of this year. That's his Christmas present. It's coming soon. And we also worked with him because his special ed teacher went above and beyond. She came out once a week in the summer to tutor him in reading to help him get caught up. She personally drove him every day to a summer program for 2 weeks. And she really checks up on him, even though he's in a different grade and has a different special education teacher now. She's kind of his adopted person. In fact, when he's feeling extra stressed, part of the deal they have at the school is he could ask his current teacher, he needs to take a walk, and he goes down to her room and sits in her classroom. So we're working with a local insurance company, Modern Woodman, and they're giving his special ed teacher an award at his court adoption hearing, and he's going to get to present her with that award. So really, really super stuff. Kids Matter does a lot of amazing stuff. I want to just thank you guys because what you do with your gifts to us is you help us with those families that, we don't think of it. We're going through our lives, but family tragedy happens today. December 10th, December 23rd. And you don't get to schedule that kind of stuff. And so when families come in at the last minute like that, Christmas for us, just so you know, Kids Matter started back in October. We have to put lists together, get the kids' wish list, get them out to the community partners who are helping us fill those wishes. And so we'll have all those things ready to deliver in early December so that they can get them wrapped and give to the kids in time. So all of those families who come into the system, who come into trauma in the early weeks of December, we don't have that luxury. And so what you do is you empower us to be able to have a little shopping spree for their volunteers and their advocates and their foster parents and grandmas. So we let them come in and pick from among the gifts that we have that have been donated. And your drive is so critical to that. I can't tell you the carloads of stuff you've given us the last couple of years, the difference that it's made. So the last thing that I want to do there is, my second language is American Sign Language, and every year I have to teach you some signs. So we're all going to learn to say 2 things today. One is Kids Matter, the name of this organization. I think it's helpful to know. So kids is simply indicating that there's a little person beside me. So that's one kid. If there are more than one kid, it's like this. So this is kids, easy, right? And then if you make the A-OK sign with both hands, put them down here, and then bring them up and put them together like you're smashing them together. This is the sign for important or matter. So our sign for our organization is Kids Matter. And then the last thing that I want to teach you tonight, even more important, if you don't remember Kids Matter after today, I want you to remember this sign, which is thank you. Thank you. And I want to say thank you to the choir for making a joyful noise. I want to say thank you to all of you, because what you do for the least among us, you also do for him, right? We know this from Matthew. And the last thing I want to do is give you this. Now I'm going to give it because I know Pastor Dave's not here, so I'm going to let Amy or somebody make this presentation to the pastor. But a little extra present we have as a thank you for you guys. It says, "This pastor has an awesome congregation." So we got this for Pastor Dave. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in December.
Thank you. Okay, next I would like to introduce our last presenter, Ava Welch, who is here from the Street Angels. Yay!
Good morning. Thank you all for having us again. This is starting to feel like a tradition for us this time of year, but this year is much warmer, so we appreciate being here and we appreciate everything that you guys have done for our organization. Street Angels was founded about 9 years ago. We are very, very organic and very grassroots. I'm actually one of the co-founders, and my boots are still on the ground down here. So we're a mobile outreach organization assisting people who are experiencing unsheltered homelessness. So our focus is on the folks who are in the park and rides, in the tents, under the bridges, etc. Again, we've been doing this for about 9 years, and the importance, just like Milwaukee Vets Initiative, we are 100% community supported. So this event that you guys do for us every year is extremely important, and more so this year. First, I'll tell you about our programs, and then I'll tell you why it's so important this year. Normally, our regular outreach is a nighttime outreach where we are traveling anywhere from 12 to 14,000 miles a year annually just in the Milwaukee County. So each night that we go out, we have 2 separate outreach buses. One is kind of doing the southern part of the county, one is kind of doing the northern part of the county, and we have a specific route that we travel each night, so folks always know when and where to find us. So we've had some of the stops on our route for almost 10 years now, the entire time that we've been doing our outreach. As of recently, since last year, we've added a very exciting new program with the partnership of the Kohler Company, Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, and Impact 100. We've been able to bring a state-of-the-art mobile shower trailer to the Milwaukee community. So we now have the mobile shower trailer out 3 days a week. It is fully ADA compliant, so we have a larger shower in the trailer. There's 3 units altogether. The larger one, we're able to get wheelchair accessibility, as well as give access to mother with children that can use that shower. So far, we've had it out since July, and we've already done well over 400 showers with the unit. So we're very, very excited to offer that new resource to the community. The reason why I was saying that this year is so important is because the numbers in Milwaukee have unfortunately significantly rised, to the point that we are starting to question what Street Angels' capacity is. In September of 2002, we were comparing month per month, and in September 2022, we were seeing 223 people during that month. September 2024 was 488. That's a 120% increase of individuals who are unsheltered in our community. So that's not including anybody who's actually in the shelter system, anybody who may be experiencing hidden homelessness, or anybody that may be doubled up with another family, or as many know it, couch surfing. So this year, your support is critical. We are not only seeing many more people who are aging, we are seeing many more children. Normally, in 2020, we didn't have a family ticker. So we take numbers and we take data and we try to track who we're seeing. And part of that is to assist with housing resources. But before last year, we never had a children or family ticker on our dashboard. And unfortunately, we've had to add that now. So the stockings that you guys will provide, whether it be for an adult or a child, will go to families that are living in motels and hotels, and families that are doubled up and invisible to the community as being homeless. So again, normally we don't see that many children. So this year, being able to make sure that we have gifts for the children that we are seeing is very, very exciting, and we so much appreciate everything that you guys do. When you were reading the prayer today, and it states, when it feels like we have become invisible and no one notices us, you see us and fill us with joy. That literally brought a tear to my eye, because I feel like that is exactly what God has led this mission to do. When we're providing them with your stocking of hope, we're not providing them with a bag full of candy or flashlight or toy or whatever it may be in there. We're giving them the gift to let them know that the community sees them, the community cares for them, and that they're not alone this holiday season. So thank you all so much. I hope we'll see you again next year, because again, this is feeling like our tradition. And thank you to the choir for all that energy. Oh my God. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you again.
Thank you to all of our guests and all of your stories. Thank you for being here. At this time, excuse me. At this time, we have come to a time of prayer. I have one update to our prayer concern list, and that is to share an update on Jenna Rosemurdaugh's cousin, Angie Schmidt. Last week reported was having an organ replacement, and she has had that liver transplant. Surgery was on Wednesday, which went without a hitch. She is recuperating in the ICU. Showing signs of slow progress, but it is steady. So she asks that prayers continue to be sent her way, but it sounds like things are going well. So, with that, let us pray. Gracious and faithful God, we give thanks that you are our God and that you have called us into being. You have sent us in covenant relationship with you and other people, knowing that when we truly love the other, we love you. We have been reminded of the many faces of those in need. We also remember your teaching that whatever we do for the least of these, we do it for you. As we live, may we do so in ways that not only see the need of others, but respond to it as well. We especially pray for the transitioning leadership in our country. The tears in the fabric of our nation have been made evident over the past years, and these months ahead, may our people come together and knit our bonds together. We pray for all of the places where there is brokenness, for the 42 locations upon this creation where there is armed conflict, for the divisions within our countries, states, cities, and families. May the love which is prophet in the holiday season truly bring us together. We pray in the name of Jesus, who taught us to pray as a family. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. At this time, we invite you to come forward with your tithes and offerings.
join with me in our prayer of dedication? We who are full can now give bread to others. We who are well off can reach out to raise up the poor. We who have everything can offer to those who have nothing. We who are blessed by you, exalted God, can be blessings to others. So we pray that the gifts we have may give hope to the despairing, give strength to the weak, and justice to the oppressed. Amen. Our closing hymn this morning is Joys Are Flowing Like a River, and you can find it at number 284 in your hymnal.
So now, as we prepare to go into the world, we have been reminded by all of our guests here today that Jesus wears the face of children in the foster system, veterans who are homeless or at risk, of children who need intellectual, physical, and emotional support, and the homeless who need a safe place to lay their head at night. but also places to address their spiritual, physical, and mental health needs. May we go seeing the face of Jesus in everyone we meet and extending love, kindness, compassion, and mercy to the Jesus in others. Let us go in the name of God, the one who creates, the one who redeems, and the one who loves us beyond our wildest imaginations. Amen.